I have got reference behind the scene with me, and he,
We
if it's okay with you, I can you can let him in briefly, and he's just gonna be with me there for a few minutes, and yeah,
Yeah, he just joins through the link I shared to you, and then we can proceed.
thank you.
Just share the link to him or her. Good evening, Kenyans. We are back live from Tembei TV. We promised you to be bringing different kinds of debates, and today we have one of the presidential candidates, Juliet uh, Makhapila ama Makhapila. Yeah, so that name, that is how it's pronounced. She will be sharing with us her blueprint, why she decided to join politics, especially at the top, and then what she intends to do for Kenya. So, Juliet, you are welcome. Have a moment just to introduce yourself and briefly, let's hear your voice.
Thank you so much, Mtebe TV, first of all, and I'm honored to officially get a beautiful invite from yourselves, Mtebe local station. And of course, thank you so much, host Wekesa, Eric, and of course, Bernard, for the work that you do. And I'm really, really delighted to be here and just being in your program here. Um, just, it's absolutely loving for Kenyans. Let me say that. Thank you so much to the viewers who are watching me, who've requested to hear what we've got to offer. So my name's Juliet Makhapila, as you said, and I'm here because I love watching your program, Tembei TV. So I'm here to tell Kenyans what we're all about. I'm the presidential candidate or presidential aspirant candidate within the Republican Liberty Party. And I've got a special friend here with me here today as well. Thank you so much, Reverend Roy, for joining in from UK. He's supporting me, and many Kenyans are supporting us. So thank you so much for joining me here today. So yes, my name's Juliet, as you've heard. And one thing about me, or to summarize it all, I stand for love, and that is what I stand for: love, peace, and joy. And I am a community change maker. For those who know me, I'm also an educator. I'm also a social scientist. My background is mainly on health and, of course, social policy. That is what I really love to say to people. Thank you so much. Somebody saying this is good. Thank you. And yes, my work involves a lot about communities, development, and I love to say I love to do to have. I love to really, really support our communities around Kenya and around the world. For those also who know me, I'm a top model as well. I love to promote the talents of our young people, our youth. Mentoring is something that I do. I've been seen on TV stations. I'm an international consultant. I love abundance and gratitude. That is what I love. I'm popularly known as the African Wonder Woman. So for those who follow my stories and shows, I love to work in schools, and I just I love politics. I feel that politics is something that everyone should get involved in. And that's a little bit about me. I love mentoring. So that's as we go along, people can ask questions and get to know me and feel what we've got to offer. And I believe that there is great questions coming my way here today. And on behalf of Republican Liberty Party, can I thank the chair, Zacharias Momanyi, and of course all the political aspirants that are standing within the Republic Liberty Party. There is, I believe, 194 around Kenya, so in different parts of Kenya. So can we appreciating every single one of them that has come forward and put their name forward, from the MCAs to the governors to, of course, the senators, the women rep, and of course, the youth, and every single one of them. I want to say that we are here. Our stand is, as you all know, our stand and brand and everything that we stand for. We are saying Kenya mpya, haki zetu, fresh politics, and we are saying tosha gari. We are also saying liberty powers of the people, and that is what we stand for, because we believe that we are pillars of justice for the Kenyan communities. So back to you, Wekesa.
Thank you. So I don't know if you will give your friend a chance to introduce himself before we proceed.
Okay, he will introduce himself. He tried to go in before, but I think that he's decided to mute himself. I think he's having difficulty with his
Okay.
phone. Yes.
Are you okay?
Can you hear
Try.
me?
Let me unmute you from this end. Yeah, you can. I think your phone is having some trouble. We will sort you out before we bring you to talk to us. So let me ask Juliet, why did you decide to call for presidency and not governorship, senator, MP, or even MCA? Why did you decide to start at the top?
Thank you so much for that wonderful question. And let me say that standing was really, really important. It is something that I thought for years, and I looked at Kenya and where we are right now in Kenya. And looking at where we are in Kenya since 1963 allowed me to reflect and allowed me to know that Kenya needs better. We need better good governance for our country. So standing for me was something that has taken a journey, something that I have thought through very carefully, something that I felt that we need better fresh politics. We see politics in an old kind of, I feel that let me just say not just Kenya, but let me bring it broadly to Africa. And I feel that as Africans, we need to really think about our nations. So if you've seen me speaking in the UN or even speaking in various places, I talk about the root causes of what is happening around the world for Africans. And we really need to elect the right leadership. And so it dawned to me that it's great to speak, but action is more something that we need to be doing other than just speak about, so actioning something and practically practicing what we speak about. And that is why I say that politics is every day. And I sincerely believe that in my heart, because when we wake up and we go to school, school is part of education. Education comes under government legislation. So I just felt that since 1963, we haven't seen a woman politician in Kenya standing at the top seat. And so I asked myself questions, and of course, boldly, I felt that, well, we're always saying that one, this one, that one. And I thought, why not me? So
Yeah,
I
Juliet,
felt
Juliet,
that I wanted to bring the transformation in our country, Wekesa.
Juliet.
Yeah.
People will argue that there has been women candidates, but who never did so much. We had Charity Ngilu, was it
Yeah.
1997? And
Yeah.
we also had Martha Karua. We had also this certain lady who used to come from Mombasa. She has Naslin Omar or something like that. She has attempted. But then we are asking, are you in the race to win or to make a name? And
I'm in the race to win.
if it's to win, do you think do you think you have the chances of winning? What are your strategies? Because
Of course.
majority of Kenyans are saying they don't know you. So how
Of
are you
course.
going to?
I'm here to win it. I believe in winning, and I know that I'm here to bring the transformation that Kenyan needs. And we hear a lot of, and I'm going to be speaking about that as we go here today in the next 40 minutes. So I'm here because to ask Kenyans to understand that we need a new direction, a new government, and we need to ensure that we are electing the right leadership, and leadership starts from voters. We are sick and tired of old politics. As you've heard me saying that, we need a fresh start. We need a reset button. We need to transform our minds. We need to bring visionary leaders. And so I'm in this race to win. And I'm in this race not just to win, but to ensure that the improvement and the livelihood of Kenyans are heard and are dedicated upon right from the top, right from the bottom. Every single community needs, ordinary Kenyans needs to be at the heart of building their communities. So I'm not here to say to you that I'm not here to win it. I'm here to say to Kenyans, this is our government. Governments are people. Governments are people who, that is why our slogan for Republican Liberty Party, we say liberty, powers of the people. I'm here to say this. We are the pillars of justice. We want ordinary fellow Kenyans to be involved in everyday politics, Mr. Wekesa. So look at our situation right now, where we are. You know, we have to surely reset our button. If we continue electing the same old leaders, then what do we get? We get the same old results. So I'm asking Kenyans, and that is why I'm grateful for your TV station here to bring me up to speak to fellow Kenyans. So I'm absolutely happy to be here. So how will Kenyans get to know me? They will get to know me through um, programs like this. But on top of that, I want to talk about equal access and for every single person who is standing. Do we have equal access? My answer is no. That is why you're not able to see all the presidential aspirants candidates that are standing. But one thing for sure, this year presents a very good challenge, let me say, because we are seeing more and more people standing. And I also want to appreciate the work that the IEBC is putting, but I want not just them putting, I want them to display every candidate that is coming forward honestly and giving a chance to every fellow Kenyan that has put themselves forward, because it is right through democracy that um, brings that efforts for every single Kenyan. I want to address that matter as we go along, because When Kenyans say they don't know somebody.
We'll come to that issue of IBC, but right now maybe even okay, we are still on the foundational issues. I see here even Esther is saying, tell us about yourself first. Okay, in other words, when you look at your competitors, we have Raila Odinga, we have William Ruto, we have Kalonzo Musyoka, and the rest. Maybe when we look at Ruto, he talks about bottom up. That is his message, cardinal message. Raila Odinga is talking about social welfare. He's also talking about buy Kenya, build Kenya. So what is this one thing that Kenyans can associate with you? That if they try Juliet, this is what will be her signature.
Our signature is, as I said here today, haki zetu and liberty, powers of the people. That is our signature. And of course, fresh politics. So our signature here is I want serious and great justice for all Kenyans, whichever part of Kenya that you belong in. And we are the pillars of bringing you your rights, your freedoms, our freedoms, so that is what we really stand for. We want to transform our country, and I also want us to know that we are the alternative to electing either Kenya Kwanza or Azimio. So we are the alternative to those ones. I've seen a lot of papers capture myself, and some of them say wamama wameamka. It's not just about wamama, but it's more than that. It's about what Kenyans really want. And what Kenyans really want is a government that cares about its people, that has compassion about its people, that understands that ordinary Kenyans are also human beings that need to be served. What Kenyan wants right now is business people to be supported so that they are able to create more jobs and industrialize our country. What Kenyans really want right now is a government that is free from corruption. What Kenyans really want right now is a government that works for its healthcare agenda and makes sure that its people are healthy and they are not struggling, and has got great security on top of all of that. What Kenyans really need now is somebody who's listening that we're living through a period of COVID-19. And through this period, some families could not even afford a meal. What Kenyans really need right now is a government that cares about normal day issues, which comes to ordinary wananchi, and our local towns and cities are suffering, and youths are feeling confused and insecure. So that is why within Republican Liberty Party, we have taken a youth. His name is Jared Matayo Ogi, and a wonderful young youth who is standing as the deputy president. And so Kenyans need to feel that there is a balance of power, whether be it is women or our young people, our youths. So there's quite a lot that Kenyans really need. And I want to appreciate all the business people who are asking me daily. I have met quite a lot. So for those who say they haven't met me, I can always give my number here. But if you find me on Mutandao, we're always there campaigning. And somebody's asking me, where have you been before you have seen? Okay, thank you so much, Richard Okemwa. We'll answer that shortly. So what Kenyans need right now is someone who can transform Kenya. We need a new dawn, we need a new day, we need a Kenya mpya, we need haki zetu to be heard, We need a government that allows its nation to flourish, prosperity, a government that is able to be, to be sharing and not hiding. If you go to some offices, sometimes you can't even find those who are meant to be serving us. That's not what I want. I want to see better. So yes, so I feel that Kenyans need the right kind of leadership. Kenyans need to elect somebody who they know they can trust, and also trust not just from the ground, but trust right to develop even in international trade. Not somebody who somebody who understands the issues rooted
But
down.
Juliet,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
someone will argue that trust is developed. You can't be trusted when Kenyans have not seen you maybe in any of the political or leadership positions. So how will they rate you? You see, trust, you cannot see someone for the first time and trust them. So how will we develop that trust and know that Juliet is the right person to be given that opportunity? In other words, so can you showcase some of the maybe opportunities you have had to lead, and then utilize them well to serve the society?
Thank you so much for that question, Wekesa. So I can't really agree with that statement. I will say that I can be trusted very well. In my hometown in Nakuru, I have done a lot of work, and those who have been there can testify. One of the biggest or great projects that I have done is empowering our community, not just because I feel it's right, but because I feel that every single person is gifted and can add value to their society. So trust comes from understanding your communities, and it's not and working together from the challenges that people face every single day. So if I was to give you my track record, I think many of you would be surprised. I don't go shouting like some people, but I believe in doing things in a godly manner. And I believe that giving is receiving. I have that kind of concept in my heart. So I think that in terms of helping and investing in our communities, I continue to do that daily. And that is something that I urge Kenyans from, and even Africa, from whichever part of the world that you come from, that we practice as good practice. When you have and you're able to support others and uplift others, you are able to support those very same communities. So if I was to explain some of the projects, then I could start off with feeding program, perhaps. And I love that feeding program. I just love it because that feeding program translated into supporting and supporting our communities in the part of the town that I come from. And I've pushed forward for not just schools being served dinner, especially marginalized schools being served dinner. And so that particular project extended itself, and it meant that the government or the area offices took the program right across our place where I started the program. I called the program, for those who want to look into that program, I called the program DKC, standing for Diversity in Kenyan Communities, because I believe in issues of diversity and promoting diversity. I also have another program that I call Touch a Heart program, and it means that we look after children who have had conflict. And in fact, within that program, I let the community select the most vulnerable children and marginalized children. So, and that's way back. You're looking from 2010, 20, not now. So, and it's the growing stuff. But one thing for sure, I believe in the heart of Kenyans. I believe in the heart of the putting back the children back into school. We put back kids back into school. We thank God that many of them have stayed in schools. Another one is on top of my head is bringing in computers in the local area and allowing the local area to benefit free of charge for that matter, and creating opportunities for the locals to be able to learn ICT skills, and on top and also allowing to get our refresher courses for our police in our area. So if I was to list everything, I think I have about 50 something programs that I could tell Kenyans, and I think I wouldn't want to be bringing that within 40 minutes of the time here. But I believe that we are all gifted, and I believe that promoting talents for every single one Kenya and adding value in our society would allow for greater strength within our towns and city.
Okay, yeah, one will argue that presidential campaigns are very expensive, and you need, I think there was a time IBC put the limits for the presidential candidates. It means you need to spend around, was it 4 billion? So that means the budgets are quite huge. So what are you planning to do? How are you going to fund your campaigns?
Thank you as well. And I want to say to you that number one, and it's something that I've really been asking myself very closely in my heart, that we talked about equal access earlier on. And if you think about the kind of costings that you have put forward, I want to ask any Kenyan whether that is something that we have created for our society and whether that is good practice. I want to argue here tonight that the moment we think that elections should be about money, we make the biggest mistake. And I want to ask every Kenyan to change their mindset here today. I want to ask Kenyans to think about the day-to-day activities that we have seen some of the campaigns are doing for the last 5 years. And I want to, Richard, I haven't come to my manifesto yet. I am coming to my manifesto, so please, if you could hold on, I will be addressing what I have for the for our manifesto within the Republican Liberty Party. So I'm seeing your questions, Richard. I'll come back to you. So I'm just answering Wikis. So I want to ask Kenyans to take a minute back and think about where we are on matters of corruption. And I want to ask and urge Kenyans that for the first time, we need to reset, and I use that word, reset, our minds and become minds of visionary leaders. And I say that for a reason. If you imagine a leader that is spending so much money in any towns and city, I don't care what you want to call it at this moment, and you come in and say, umetununulia nini? What have you bought for us? Now, my question is, as a leader, am I meant to exchange myself with money? That is where corruption starts. So I take this opportunity to ask every single citizen, I'm patriotic, and I love the issues of civics education. So I want to urge Kenyans that to stop the issues of corruption, that I myself am very happy to move in the local towns and cities as I'm doing right now, and I want to set that example. But I don't want to pretend that I can go out of my way and rob or take money from somewhere if I'm not sponsored by big stakeholders. I don't want to do that because I would feel that I'm not being real to myself and to my God. So let me approach it from that direction. Let me tell Kenyans that elections are expensive when it involves citizens asking them to buy them this or to buy them that. And in fact, in our campaign, I have decided, even for my own volunteers, and my volunteers actually said, oh, Mama, we really need you to give us hats. And I said, no, those hats cost me money. And I don't make a penny out of my hats. I go to a shop and I actually buy those hats. And you will see them written, Vote Juliet Makhapila. So what am I saying to Kenyans? I'm saying to Kenyans that voters need to fight corruption right from the start. So I want us to be as citizens that understands how we are able to build our cities and we are able to fight back and reset our own governments, because government is the people. And if our governments are not working, it means that we are not functioning properly ourselves in our cities and towns because we are not getting it right. So my fellow Kenyans, if I went in and I said to
Yeah.
you today that let me finish, Wekesa, if you allow me to finish. If I went in and I said that out of 100,000 right now, people coming to me at 300 shillings each, I am getting a hat. Do you expect me to sell my shamba so that I can buy those hats? Or what do Kenyans? In fact, I am telling Kenyans to write in a piece of paper, Vote Juliet Makhapila. If you can't afford a hat because there's no money, I want you to write Vote Juliet Makhapila in your piece of paper. If you can really, really reflect on the words that I'm saying here today, I want everyone to know that we are serious. We want a community that functions. We want to build trusted aspirants that ensure that we are able to work and serve the people of Kenya, not trying to gather back the money that you have spent in campaigns and thinking where you're going to take money that is supposed to be for the people and putting it back. So back to you, Wekesa.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. Maybe you could tell us about cutting costs and maybe avoiding those the ways in which politicians spend money unnecessary. But still, I come back to you. You need a budget, even if it's lean. You are focusing on 21. Is it 21 million registered voters?
Yeah.
So the truth is, for your message to reach every voter,
Yeah.
even if it is only your transport, because
Yeah.
I know if you walk on foot, for Western, you may take some months to go there. So you need a budget, whether it's just on movement alone, whether it's on the media alone, whether it's on the campaign material. Even if those hats you are saying, they may cost not much money, but still they still need a budget. So
yes,
you
and
would have
I'm covering some of those costs. Much of that cost that you say, I'm covering it, and I'm having to work hard for it as well. And my friends and stakeholders are covering for some of that. So my point to you, to answer your question briefly, is we are in a very tight budget. We are making it as cost effective as possible. Hence the reason we appreciate platforms like this. And we are asking Kenyans to understand that we want to fight the highest and have equal opportunities to reach as many as you. Our political aspirants on the ground, we are asking for communities to help them, to serve them, to work with them, to come together as a community so we are able to focus on the right direction. I called it, I call it again, I want us to reset those buttons, and I want us to have an alternative way of doing things. And I'm saying that this idea of having shows and dramas, it doesn't really wow me as much as a lot of people. I'm happy that we're able to create awareness through those political campaigns, but whether we are doing the right thing, I also want to call upon much of that to be dismissed in our government as I speak. And also, I want to call upon the issue of respecting our government. Election says and states that 29th is the time that we should start election. And as you've seen, some of those leaders have been breaking the rules since day one, and they've been going round. So I call upon their dismissal. I call upon their Kenyans to understand that lack of respect of our katiba does not constitute good leadership. I call upon understanding that good governance is also about respecting the rules and the laws of Kenya. And so I challenge all our great leaders, I challenge our opponents, and I challenge them in good faith so that we can learn to respect our government, we can learn to share good governance and allow our young people to look upon us as leaders, as politicians. So I'm putting those on the table here with you. And so for me, as I want to thank Republican Liberty Party leadership and of course its members for giving me this opportunity to serve them, and not just to serve them, but to serve the people of Kenya. And of course, every single MCA who is going to be elected, governors or senators or MPs, I believe in Kenyans. I believe it's the right thing. I believe that putting them into the government. Thank you so much, Peter. I really appreciate that. I'm absolutely grateful, and I believe that you're also my fan. Thank you. So for me, it's about making sure that Kenyan voices are heard. It's about improving our hospital. It's about improving matters to do with unemployment. I don't see how you can be going and throwing money and giving people right now money in a campaign, and then when those leaders, I mean, you've seen them going abroad to borrow diasporians to help them. Why? Because they also don't have money, because like you say, Mr. Wekesa, campaigns are very expensive. That is why I'm saying governments are the community. Let's work together. Let's galvanize, sensitize, keep it real to ourselves, have low cost effective campaigns that are real to the people, that are manageable to the people, and on top of that, give equal access to all presidential candidates that are running. We can't have this kind of elections that you are saying, and then expect when you elect those same leaders that, oh, they will be caring about your community. Let me tell you, fellow Kenyans, they'll be thinking about how much money they spent during elections, how much money they gave you during elections, and you ate. If you're a Kenyan who has been paid 500 shillings, can I say to you, you should stop all that.
Juliet, I'm still coming back to you.
Yeah.
You talked about something called resetting the button. And one of the things to reset the button is maybe if we can have a civic education to the voters. It still needs a budget. You see, to change people's mindset that has grown over years, it cannot take just 1 or 2 days. So we still need a budget to do that. We need trainings, we need civic education. And so we need, how are we going to carry out that civic education so that voters know that this is the right thing to do and this is not the right thing. For example, you have a good message, but you are coming in, some will argue it's a little bit late because maybe it's 2 months, actually 2.5 months towards election. Will you have enough time to speak to every Kenyan and understand your message and reset the button, as we are saying? So the timing and the resources. If resources are not on your side, at least time should be on your side. If time is not on your side, at least you should have resources to increase your mobility and accessibility to the people. So how are you going to deal with those two challenges?
We are already doing it. That is why we are here today. And I can assure you that our team on the ground in all the areas that we are being focused, we are already doing that. And if I was not doing that, even I would not be on your show here today. So what I'm saying to you here today is you just have to follow our daily focus, and our daily focus is to reach as many Kenyans as we can with the team that we have. I can say to you that within civics education, one of the things that I would be emphasizing on is all secondary schools. I feel that in all secondary schools, we need to be bringing in the issue of patriotism in Kenya, but also the spirit of Ubuntu is something that I would love to introduce in Kenya, in all, not just Kenya, but I'm also saying it in the whole of Africa, so that the spirit of Ubuntu unites us as fellow Africans and allows us to think about our nations, and also allows us to care more about our communities, to have compassionate about our communities. And as you are asking me again, more to do with resourcing, I'm saying to you once again that resourcing comes from the people. I don't want an election that is full of, I don't like using the word stealing, but I feel that I don't want to feel that there is this kind of election that we are paying people to come to us. I want an honest campaign, which is quite difficult, and I think that's where you're going with this. But I feel that the voice of Kenyan, the ordinary voice of Kenyan, and a people that is able to respect its nation is what we as Kenyans need to reset our minds upon. We need every single Kenyan, whether it is this program. I was in program yesterday of Kamau Agashisho. I was there yesterday, and we are speaking to our youths, all the local journalists. I'm saying to the local journalists, it's not about the payment that you're being paid you're being paid by these big boosters. I'm sorry. If that caller, please not call me, please, at this time, please. Thank you so much, caller. Could you just ask your question online, please? Don't try and call my line right now. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, caller. So I'm one kind of person, I don't want to hide my number, as you can see. My phone just rang right now. So my point to you Kenyans is, let's learn to be an honest nation. Can I, as much as I don't want to, some people might want to fight me if I make my next statement. And I want to appreciate the statement that His Excellency Honorable Uhuru Kenyatta always says, let's fight corruption, Kenyans. And I like that about him because he says it enough of the time. And one of the things that I really want to remember him as he lives is he said that. Some of you might argue that corruption has grown big, but at least he said it enough times. And my fellow Kenyans is, if we learn as a nation to fight this, can I give it a name perhaps, this vampire that is amongst us, which is eating and swallowing our nation in the name of no officers is working, because to memaliza those officers, can
It's a
I blame
leprosy.
every Kenyan who has taken part of finishing those offices? We are part of the problem. Let's solve that problem once and for all, Kenyans. Let's select a leader that is not willing to enjoy this magnificent, whatever you want to call it. And let's go into our towns and cities easy, and we decide that we want to vote for the leaders that are not coming in and later on they're trying to pay their bills, their loans, God knows what, because that's the amount of money they've had to borrow to come and feed somebody for one day, and 5 years later, you're not seeing money in your cities and towns. So that's what I'm talking about. Thank you so much, Joe. I can see what changes do I want to bring in that is not being done by the president. I've just spoken about one right now. I talked about the Ubuntu spirit to be taught in our school. That's just one amongst many. And so many other things. I want our hospitals to be working. Not, I think Namek asked me that question the other day, and I believe I answered that one for health. And no Kenyan should be passing away with normal disease. This morning, somebody called me and told me the brother passed away in health sector for TB. You can imagine, fellow Kenyans, wengine bado wanakufa na malaria. You know, so what changes am I going to be making is to be making sure that our hospitals are working properly for us Kenyans. And I want that. My background is, as I say to you, I'm a social scientist.
Thank you for that, Juliet.
I love solving the greatest problems in the world, not just in Kenya.
Thank you for that. I want
I can't hear you, Wekesa. Can you? Yeah.
I want you to answer in summary a few questions, then we just, as we summarize. One, as I've seen viewers, I was trying to consolidate what they are saying. I've seen viewers say that you have the right message, but why can't you join the like-minded people like Mother Karua? You guys want to fight corruption because you need to have a unity of purpose and to work together to achieve what you want. What is your take on that? In brief.
I struggled to hear you. I think I'm going to have to log off and then come back. I struggled to hear you, so let me log off and then come back in a few minutes. Sorry about that.
You're not hearing me?
I struggled to hear. Yeah, the caller, please call us. Don't call my phone when I'm on phone. Otherwise, it interrupts, and what happens is it cuts my connection. So I'm going to just come back in a few minutes.
Okay. Yeah, Juliet is having some network challenges. So I have heard your reactions on the kind of debate we are having. But guys, you need to understand that we are here not only for your top candidates, but we are here also to have a conversation with Kenyans. So I believe each and every person can make an input towards our democracy, whether they are the leading candidates or not. Let's give all of them space and let's have a conversation within ourselves. This is one way of just expanding our democracy. And maybe when we have candidates who are not among your top, you know, some of those top candidates, you guys don't converse well. You become more emotive and you even want to fight between the two horses. But when we bring other candidates, I think it's now the time to reason soberly and think about our democracy, think about the issues that are affecting the nation, and perhaps using even this platform to have a conversation that guides us towards the the future that we want. So I will appreciate that maybe Juliet may not be my candidate, Juliet may not be your candidate, but all candidates that come on this platform will be discussing the nation called Kenya and the issues they are raising. We can consolidate them into something that helps us to develop our democracy. So I'm sorry if you just wanted the usual candidates. We will be bringing different people. And mark you, in the next 2.5 months, we will be done with the elections. So what will we be discussing? We need to be having a conversation that is ongoing, and we need to discuss things even beyond what will happen on 9th. And that's why you need to open up your mind and be ready for a conversation with each and every Kenyan. Me, I appreciate today I've known someone called Juliet. I mean, I may not have known her, but at least I see she has a passion. She may not have featured in my candidates of 2022, but at least I will appreciate that she has a conversation that I need to engage. So that is the driving force for this Tembei platform, that most of the time the main media may not give them the platform. And even you who is at the comment section, I'm sure today if you want to run for MCA or MP, you'll struggle to find space. But if you get 1 or 2 media that gives you space to air your views, you may not be the best person the Kenyans have known, but at least you'll appreciate that I went somewhere and I was given a platform and I was able to air my views, and some people listened to me, because at the end of the day, you reserve the right to decide who shall be your leader on August. So thank you. I think Juliet is back. Is your mic okay now?
Yes, thank you so much. Apologies, Kenyan. That caller has taken away our space. My sincere apology. But thank you so much for the question. You were saying earlier on, I just heard you saying that we are not there to win again. Let me say, we are here to win. Make no mistake. I'm going to tell you a story as I come back here. I believe in a good race. I believe that every single contestant is not there to not win that
and
race.
as you answer, wait, Juliet. As you answer, I think there are people who are concerned that their questions have not been answered. Kina Richard Makiadi, I think they have raised quite a number of questions. So we will, as you endeavor, let's try to answer them so that they also feel they are participating. Huh? So
do you want to read your questions for me, please?
Yeah. So we have here, where does your strength lie? Juliet thinks is doing well, county demographics. So every opinion poll ranks the presidential candidates on their strength. Where does Juliet think she's doing well? Counties or demography? Where is your strength? What gives you the comfort that at least you will get quite a number of votes in this particular area? For example, Martha Karua, when she came on the scene, they say that she's going to plug in the votes from the civil societies, because that is where she has spent most of her time. And I think even recently she had a meeting with them in Serena. So where do you draw your strength?
Thank you so much. First of all, Kenyans, let me talk about polls here tonight. And in terms of education, can I also say that some of these polls, when it comes to Africans' ideology of thinking about polls, I don't want us to rely on the polls so much. I want us to rely on what the IEBC will be pronouncing on the last day, because some of these polls that are made, I could here today set up a quick poll and put myself there and put all this polling. It's so easy. You go to survey and you put the polls. So I don't want to go in and start, the polls that you see here every single day are made by, depending on whichever side you fall in. So if we are going to do polls, Kenyans, let's put all the presidential candidates in there so that all those presidential candidates becomes, you can see them. Don't put two people and assume that those are the only two people who have been put. It is the wrong kind of mindset, Kenyans. So I want to start from that kind of perspective. Secondly, I want us to go back to what I was saying earlier on, that Kenyans need to have a mind shift. Mindset is very, very important when it comes to leadership. If we are going to every day make noise in all our WhatsApp group, we want this, we want that, but we don't action it and remove this old leadership that we've had, I want Kenyans to ask themselves the real questions. The questions are, have these Kenyans delivered since 1963? They have not. That is the answer. Not being rude to anyone, my feeling is there is still women in this Kenya that don't have a proper toilet. Yani ukienda, a doctor challenged me while I was speaking. I spoke. By the way, I take the pride here today to say to you that God blessed me so much that during these years in the UN, I was amongst before President Uhuru spoke, it was me who spoke. Let me take the honor of telling you, I'm a science student. And one doctor spoke to me just before I went on air and reminded me the figures that when I go to UN, I should remind them about kuna wamama bado wanaendanga pale nje. Mtu ako na kamba to lift themselves up. I thank God for those people at least, but I'm imagining a mother, a woman who is mushosho, still using those kind of toiletries. And we are still sitting here. And that doctor, I want to appreciate him, Dr. Nyachama. Asante sana for those figures that you gave.
I still feel you're not answering the question.
Okay.
I still feel you're not answering the question.
Yes, so I can't see the question, Dr. Wekesa, Mr. Wekesa. So if you can continue reading the questions, yeah.
Where do you draw your strength? There are those even who draw their strength from their tribes. They say that me, I come from Kikuyus and all Kikuyus behind me.
Okay, I got you. I got you. I draw my strength as a Kenyan. I feel that we're able to bring all communities together, build our communities from the youth to the wamamas, and ensure that I am the voice. I love telling stories of the communities, and I draw the strength of communities and community leadership right from the hearts of the communities. If you look at my platform and the kind of talks that I bring, I love to engage at a different kind of new ideas, new solutions. I don't want solutions that are not working. I want solutions that are working for us as Kenyans, action-oriented. And that is why I say wear your heart, as in heart. Wear your heart. Hope, action, and transformation. Vaa kofia yako. Wear your heart. It starts with you. So I say to you here today, kama wewe ni Mkenya, na wewe ni Mkenya mzalendo, I want you to wear your heart. I want you to make sure that you're out there thinking about the right type of leadership, thinking about why you need to elect any particular leader that has come to you. And while I talk about that, because I've seen some questions about what are our manifesto, let me read you some of our goals.
As you do your manifesto, you can also slip in the issue of unemployment. I think someone had asked that.
Yeah, I'll touch on that. Can I just now go through our quick manifesto? Our manifesto, the first one we want to do right now, kuna issue ya njaa. We are hungry. Bei ya chakula. I want to start off with the climate, the political climate. That is not just in Kenya, but around the world. Yeah, the political climate issue. COVID-19 is here. COVID-19, Wekesa asked she recently, okay. Yeah, so COVID-19 is here. We've got matters of youth unemployment and all kind of governance issues. Mafuta inaenda juu, all kind of issues. So I draw my angle from that. So the first thing we're going to do, Kenyans, is improve agriculture and address food security and youth empowerment and investments and employment to be addressed. So our manifesto, that is something that I have put down. If you haven't seen it, I don't know if it can be seen from here, but maybe I will, maybe you can share it from your end, so they can also be reading it from there. But kwa Wakenya ambao wako hapa, mambo yetu ya kwanza ile tutafanya ni kutengeneza mambo ya ukulima ili tuweze kujadiliana na wakulima. The other day I was seeing I've been speaking to loads of great farmers, and farmers tell me all their issues every day, from issues of how their business are affected. And you've got to remember that in agriculture sector, they are never even financed, because if their crops fail, they cannot even take a loan and stuff like that. So one of the things that we need to look at is some of the issues and key areas. So improve agriculture and address food security, and of course, youth empowerment and employment. We want to be able to raise standards for the poor and vulnerable, and equal access to justice for the poor and marginalized, and of course, ordinary Kenyans. That is something that I really care about. I feel it comes from the heart. We need to do this for every single person, compassionate kindness, that kind of embodiment that transforms our nations and towns. We want to be able to create jobs and industrialization and manufacturing jobs in every sector. And of course, that involves welcoming the business sector, private sector, and of course, our business people. If they don't feel empowered, how are they going to create those jobs? So I want to be talking to a lot of, and in fact, not I want to be talking, I'm already talking to business people, and they are telling me, yeah, can I thank the people of Laikipia already? Thank you so much for the work that you're doing. They are talking, business people who have come to me telling me the issues of how, why they have not been able to create jobs. So let's solve the problem, because once they are also, they feel that they are also empowered, they are also able to build those towns and cities. And you can see how expensive it is. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate that. So we want to be able to improve security. A government that has got no good security, nobody wants to invest in those countries. You can see in places that Africa has suffered insecurity, nobody wants to go and invest in those countries. So we're Kenya, let's put down and let's improve our own securities in Kenya, so that we are able to attract great tourism in places like Mombasa, in places, somebody called me from around Fort Jesus last week and was explaining to me how that area has been affected in terms of a lack of tourism and all the problems that usiku mtu anakimbia alafu these majambazi just comes in. I want to appreciate that youth who called me to tell me that we need to address those issues and we need to address those problems. And so I asked the government, and I also ask any government that is coming forward to look into the issues of improving the areas in Mombasa, so that we are not losing tourism. Without tourism, if tourism gets affected, it means that our hotels are not doing well, and that is a circle. When security is not good, it means that even the businesses in the town centers are dying. And so let's take the matters of improving security, and that issue also means that we are able to address why is the police service. And I like to say police service because a lot of people keep saying police force. I don't like that. I want police service to be a police service that works for its people, that works for us, that whenever you go and report something, that issue is well looked into. And I want our systems to come back into the service sector that it's meant to come back into. Let's also go down to the issues of promoting talents for our youth. Many a times, even when I'm traveling around, even when I'm speaking, this thing that keeps coming time and time again is my youth is being, is our youths are being drained. Their efforts are being drained. Let's support our gospel singers. Let's support our youth leadership. Let's support all those leaders that, you know, the leaders, the youths who are so innovative. Many of them have got entrepreneurship skills, but you can still see they are struggling even to get normal financial loans. So they've resorted to creating circles after circles and stuff like that. Let's look into that area. Another thing is build our health sector. I love that one because, as I said in your show the other day, Tembe, is without good health, there is no wealth. And I stand by that. I still carry on by that. And I say that every city, every town must have good hospital clinics, good services for Kenyans, services that respond to the needs and interventions of our community, services that allow us to also check if there's any medical negligence. We need to understand why there is medical negligence for any of our communities and why that is happening. We need to take our services very seriously. And I believe that within our government, if elected, we are going to serve Kenyans in an honest, transparent way. We want to fight corruptions. I cannot hesitate. And I can tell you that this campaign, as you can see, with the millions and thousands of shillings, Kenyan shillings, that is needed, I am saying that aje Mombasa, but hatutaki kuona hizo nywele. Asante sana Wekesa, I really appreciate that. I think you can plait my hair. Next time I come, you take me to the hairdresser, and I think you can plait my hair and put me into a hairdresser and sort it out. I really appreciate that. Asante sana to that comment. I love different styles, but I'm not here for my hairstyle. I'm here to tell you that this is what we want. And let's work in Mombasa. If you see me there, I am really, really wanting you. And in fact, I'm working with a group of youths in Mombasa. Let me tell you some of the problems that Mombasa youths have already expressed. So don't sit down here and think that I haven't mapped it out. We have mapped it out in the whole of 47 counties. As I told you, I didn't start today looking whether I wanted to be an aspirant for president. I thought for many years. So we've mapped it out. Some of the issues right now coming out from Mombasa is issues of drink and drug abuse, substance misuse. They want to get to rehabilitate. In fact, I've just told you that case last week. Somebody called me to tell me about Fort Jesus. They sent me pictures. I can show you. They said, Mama, we want you. Please help us. Go and tell the government to help us so that usiku we are feeling safe. And you know what? I was absolutely wowed by that youth because I felt if a youth can pick up the phone and call me and tell me and trust me, somebody was asking me about the trust issue. Kwanza hiyo ilikuwa tu imetoka hata kwa misikiti. Akaniambia, you see, the youths are coming from this part of the world, na sio sisi. Now, one thing can I appreciate hata what parents and guardians of those youths, they were even telling me that sio watoto wetu wanafanya hizi ukora. They were telling me that. So somebody is asking me within 100 days. I'll tell you right now, Mr. David, I'm coming to that. So I want to appreciate the parents and guardians of Mombasa because they were telling me about how they are trying to take control and ensure that their children are not getting into the wrong type of people. Asanteni wa Kenya, asanteni parents of Mombasa, and I trust that these youths really want to be rehabilitated. So in Mombasa, one of the things you can imagine, some of them, one generation after generation in Amalizika, how are we responding as a government to those youths who are drinking whatever? How are we responding? Surely, please. I have got a personal story. I'm going to tell you about a personal story. And this is really personal. That is why I'm really, really, when it comes to issues of substance misuse, I'm going to tell you a personal story. I had a brother, my brother who follows me, his name, anyway, let me just say my brother. but substance misuse, and he had finished masters, amemaliza masters. But I tell you what, I saw it with my own true eyes. Sikuambiwa, yeah, sikuambiwa. Unemployment issues of young people being neglected. I don't want any youth in Kenya to feel the same. My brother ended up, kila siku tunaonanga kaburi yake pale, because youth unemployment. A masters, a graduate, amesoma, amerudi, alienda akasomea ng'ambo, akarudi na hakuna kazi. Do you really think I can allow for youths to really be in the same mannerism that I have seen? Let me tell you, fellow Kenyans, and I tell you here today, that challenge me in the next 5 years if you elect me, if we have not industrialized a few of our, some of our towns and cities. Challenge me for the youth. I agree. I'm here to serve. That is why sitaki mambo ya ati tulienda tukawapatia tukakuja kukateremka. I'm not interested with that. I am comfortable, nimekula, nimeshiba, nimefurahia. You can only eat 1 meal a day. You can only eat so much a day. So I don't want ati yo tununulie sijui tununulie nini. No, tujenge taifa. Tuende, tukuje, tutengeneze hospitali zetu, tutengeneze mashule zetu, tutengeneze mabarabara zetu, tufanye kila kitu pamoja. That is what I'm interested in. Not kujeni hapa, leo umekula 500 bob, and then the next 5 years, because nilienda nikauza shamba yangu, because of you Kenyan, wewe. Talk to me, Kenyans. Talk to me. I am talking to you. I'm here. I'm not hiding. That is the sort of person I am. I want us to solve the problems of Kenya. That is why I put my name forward. Yes, I am bold. When anaongea mambo ya nywele yangu, aongee tu, ni sawa. Thank you. Haya. Build our health sector. I have talked about that. I talked about that, Lamek. Thank you so much for that question. He insisted. And I can tell you, fellow Kenyans, imagine the cost of somebody who has got cancer, somebody who has got diabetes, every single day. Madawa, kununua, expensive. Let's work. Can I appreciate the former Vice President of Kenya, Lucy Kibaki? We saw the work that she did when it came to issues of HIV. We saw the extensive attracting our hospitals mpaka wakasolve. At least now people can go into Kenya, alafu watu wanatibiwa, unakuta mtu ametibiwa. Let's have those kind of services. Thank you, Mama Lucy Kibaki. I really celebrate you. Hata ulikuwa mtu wa kusema na kutenda. Let's be that. Mimi ni mtu wa kusema na kutenda. Let me finish my manifesto. Allow me to finish my manifesto. So, yes, improve ICT and technology. That's straightforward. Without good technologies in our towns and cities, we are not even able to come here. So that goes without saying. Promote goods and trade. Some of the places are able to produce enough food. Let's be able to produce more than what we produce so that we are able to export our food, and industrialize, even get farmers a market from our in-house places. Promote peace. I love that about Kenyans. Let's be a people of peace. I love that. Fighting social inequality. I love that, and I identify myself. Even wherever I am, I love to promote inclusion and diversity. It rings in me. It reigns in me. And improve women's rights and in every sector. And my favorite one is my mother's as well. It is clean water for all. I love that. I love to promote clean water. I believe that when you provide clean water for every family, I sincerely believe we are able to support our cities and towns. And finally, is to enjoy promoting partnership, and especially the SDG goal number 17, for those who know it, promoting partnership within our communities. Let's serve right. Let's have you on the table. Ordinary Kenyans, you are the people. You are the people who will make change our, transform. I don't even want this name now change. Wear your hats, as in hats. HAT, hope, action, and transformation for Kenya. Please don't call my phone.
Thank you for that. At least there are compliments as much as there are also questions and criticism, and we appreciate all. Maybe in conclusion, we'll ask, does Juliet have the guts to be the CIC, Commander-in-Chief? Someone was saying, if you are irritated with these small questions of the hair, will you be the commander?
Not call my phone, please, right now. Thanks, bye.
Someone was asking.
So, thank you. Do I have the guts? I'll leave that to you. I think that I am a brave, wonderful.
Yeah, there are those who have noticed.
That I want to leave you with this. I love to say love for all Kenyans. Let me leave you with that. And I believe that love is something that we all have in our hands. Can I appreciate Mutembe TV for allowing us as Republican Liberty Party, and on behalf of all the aspirants, our political aspirants, on behalf of them is a very big thank you to you all. Our manifesto is out here. Read it, understand it. Feel free to ask us questions. Go to our website. Our website even needs money. Let me say that. Kama mtu anajua kutengeneza very beautiful website. You know, as barriers that political parties face. Yes. It's very difficult to do that, Richard Makiandi, because I'm also reading through it. So even if I put it on mute, it's still, people still call and it affects the reception. That is why sometimes leaders refuse to give their number, but we are dealing with that. Thank you for the suggestions. I'll remember, maybe I'll use a tablet next time. Let me say that it's up to Kenyans to really understand what good politics is all about. It's up to Kenyans to really understand that you've got alternative and not the same old choices that you've got. It's up to Kenyans to understand that whenever any new leaders come in, and somebody asked me, why did I not start from women representative? By the way, for those who don't know that I have stood in the past, I have stood in London. I stood as a local councillor in the borough of Tollington. For those who would like to check those records, you can see how well I did. And if you've heard of somebody called, in fact, I want to appreciate the experience that I had, and I decided to come back home in Kenya to bring back my experience and to bring back the issues of what good political grant should be. Hence the reason I'm saying. And I have noticed one thing that Africans, and I will say Africans, politicians, because it's not just Kenyans that make this mistake. Well, you never see politicians and this, you see politicians, and I have been in that table. Si ati ninaongea tu. Mimi nimekuwa hapo, nimesimama, nimeona, and I was in the opposition. You would always see me, I've been very loyal. Kama ningekuwa ninaingia tu political party ya kushinda, I would have been maybe even a big MP. Lakini because I trust in politics that is honest, and I trust in a manifesto that believes in the real people of people. I want to say that good politics is about improvement of people. And when those people feel they're not being served, I question my thinking. As I say, I'm a social scientist. That is what I am. And I don't normally say it most of the time, but leo kwa kipindi yenu nitasema hivyo because you like big titles. I really like just to say I love love. But because people like big titles, yes, I'm a problem solver. Problem solver, not just for local communities, problem solvers for international world challenges. That is why I want to the top seat. I want the top seat because I am tired of hearing the same story since 1963. Some of us might not have been born. Thank you to every older generation that has talked to me. They have talked to me. They have guided me. They have told me the stories. I want to see. Yes, as of today, not even yesterday, somebody from Samburu called me. Samburu, of all the places. Did I even expect Samburu
to call me. Yeah? Akaniambia. Do you want me to share that story if we still got time? Akaniambia, Madam President, sisi tuko na shida. Nikamuuliza tuna shida gani? That is Bamboo. Do you know? Alikuja, I cried. I mean, that is, in fact, let me say it's my biggest, maybe highest political up till today campaign. Yeah? As hata alipiga, you know, alimpigia kutoka Samburu. And he was so happy when I told him, I have seen the story of, there were mama who fought to stop domestic violence, and they put the women world. So we started the conversation from there. Okay? He said, oh, you're serious? I said, I look, mimi ni mtu mwenye kila town and city, I know it. Ninaijua na hii kichwa yangu. Ukiniuliza huku tunataka nini, I will tell you. Ukiniuliza Bungoma, I will tell you. Ukiniuliza Mombasa, I will tell you. Ukiniuliza Nairobi, I will tell you. Ukiniuliza Nakuru, I will tell you. That is me. And not only in Kenya, in the whole of Africa. In the whole of Africa. Let me tell you, that Samburu person. Do you know one thing aliniuliza? Aliniambia tu, ukipata uongozi wako, kuja utusaidie in issues of conservation. I celebrate that too. Yani, I was expecting to aniambie, kuja unione. Nikamuuliza, and by the way, what do you do? The youth told me his story. He told me, mimi nilimaliza 78, na sikuweza kuenda form 1. I got 350 marks. Lakini baba yangu hakutaka kuni-educate, lakini mimi nimejaribu tu kuji-educate, and I really love your leadership. I'm following you. You know what? Those are the kind of youth I want in our government. Those are the kind of youth that I feel deserve the very best of the best. That youth was able to identify and tell me, in our area in Samburu, the conservative program called LEWA is the one that has been keeping us afloat. Money does not reach. That is a young youth. His education competency, I just feel, I felt it. Today, akanitumia tena message. I was waking up before I came here, and akaniambia, nataka uongee na hao mama. I said, okay, what do you want me to tell them? Akaniambia, wanataka tu kuongea na wewe. And I called them. We spoke. That was Samburu. So, fellow Kenyans, what can I say as I leave you here today? I believe you all have a gift that you were born into. If you discover your gift, I believe you can add value into your societies, into your communities, and I believe that any government that appreciates you will not allow you to be brain dead, but will allow you to build this nation of ours. Together, we can do it. I say to you, as I live here tonight, Kenya mpya, haki zetu, fresh politics, tosha gari, liberty powers of the people. Vote for me, for your presidential candidate. Allow us to rule this government. Give us 5 years. Let's vote all of them out. That is what I'm saying. Sitaki these big vehicles. Sitaki, nataka clean politics, clean towns and cities that will bring the effectiveness and efficiency that Kenyans desire most.
Okay, thank you, Juliet.
Party leaders.
Your party symbol is what? For Kenyans who will vote for you, is it a horse or a donkey? For Kenyans who will vote for you, your party symbol is? I'm trying to get your party symbol. Unanisikia, Juliet?
I lost you again there, but sorry. Now, can you come back? Can you repeat again?
I'm saying your party symbol is what? For those who will vote for you. I'm trying to get your party symbol. Yes,
my Twitter handle is Juliet November Mikey 1000. My Twitter handle is Juliet November Mikey 1000. I hope I'm answering, but I couldn't hear you.
Okay. That's okay. And that is how we are going to identify Juliet. She has a horse on her party, simple. And then the name is Juliet Makhapila. Makhapila.
It's Juliet Makhapila. That is my father's name.
As from Western, we call it
yes, I can see people asking me from which country. It's from Kenya, but if you're asking me from which ethnicity or which community, Makhapila is a
I know
name.
that's what you are avoiding.
Yes, but I don't do politics of tribes. I do politics as a Kenyan. I do politics because I feel that Kenyans deserve the best. Kenyans, mimi mkinichagua, hata hamtakuwa tu the best, mtakuwa best from Kenya, Africa, internationally, everything. Tutatengeneza barabara vizuri. And I say to you Kenyans, join our train. Don't hesitate to say no to bad leadership. Don't hesitate. Don't put back these leaders when wametumaliza. I ask Kenyans and voters, tafadhali, share this program. They all share mtembei everywhere. Share it. Ndio wasikie kuna mtu hata anaitwa Juliet Makhapila. Share it around the whole country. Share it ndio wasikie. We are tired. We are tired of corruption. We are tired of our hospitals not working. We are tired of our schools not working properly. We are tired of empty promises that have been given over the years. We are tired of women rights not being represented properly in our government. We are tired of so many because. We are tired of youth not working and not having jobs after they graduated because. Hey! I say to fellow Kenyans, voters, kama uko na vote yako, umeshika na vote yako na mkono hivi, kama umeshika vote yako na mkono out of those 21 million Kenyans na umeshika, show this government there is only one Juliet Makhapila. Juliet Makhapila.
Yeah,
Juliet Makhapila for president of Kenya. The rights of women, watu wengine walisimama bado walikuwa wanatetemeka because they are held hostage with their political party. This time this party is for everybody. State House ya kila mtu. Mimi nataka State House ikuwe ya kila mtu. Yes. Thank you everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to everybody. Tembei TV, Tembei. Thank you to the local stations, all our youths, all our local stations. I support all of you. I love all of you. Let's make sure that we are fighting every corruption at every stage as we go. And for those big television, please, can you put all the candidates and stop playing your politics? Every candidate deserves a platform on your TV station.
Thank you.
All the political aspirants and give them equal publicity, not the everyday publicity that you are playing. Yes. Somebody says I'm praying, I'm trying my best. Na ule mtu anaongea ati kusema ati Juliet Makhapila ni nani? Juliet Makhapila ni African Wonder Woman. I stand for that. I love you so much.
Thank you. You have made your point. Huh? Thank you. I just wanted to show them your symbol, which is a horse there, and then the Republican at the edge. Then Kenya Mpya. Hakizetu, that is your slogan. So we are going to end this program. Thank you for honoring our invitation. And we are pleased to having hosted you. I'm sure you have excited quite a number of people.
You've been a great host. Thank you.
When I look at
and thank you, Bernard, as well, for introducing me to you as well. I appreciate you.
Yeah. When I look at the comment section, people are quite excited. So this was the first time. When you come the second time, you'll have a huge following. Those who have understood you now can be your supporters. So thank you. You are making an input towards shaping our democracy, and we appreciate each and every perspective that people take us. We don't take it for granted that you spend your 1 or 2 hours here just speaking to Kenyans. Not everybody may agree with you, but at least the feedback is also important. So kindly take the feedback positively. Usione kama wanakuchongoa. They appreciate that there are things that needs to be worked on. But the one thing they like about you is your courage and ability to stand out and speak your mind without being intimidated by anybody. That has stood out quite clearly. Blacks is forcing you to be a lawyer. Yeah. If you think she's a lawyer,
before you go, please, can everybody join us? Can everybody join my waniunge mkono waseme video tunataka? I ask and plead with fellow Kenyans on behalf of all the political aspirants. Some places we don't have people. You can ask us who we are supporting. In those places we were not able to put people because we are looking for those candidates that can really deliver. Asante sana. Somebody told me they are excited. Of course, it is new era for Kenya. It is new politics for Kenya.
Finally, the
lawyers people eventually come out. My father, Juliet Makhapila means politician. Tell them, Wekesa. And oh, I forgot to mention that our logo is Farasi. Our logo is Farasi. So none of these politicians should be saying Iko Hosmbili because they are taking our logo. Our logo is Farasi. We are the only Farasi. We are the only Farasi in our logo. That has been there. And by the way, our political party is not a big party. It's a smaller party, but very it is one which is open. Somebody asked me a question, why did I choose this party over other parties? I chose this party because it has the roots of an African person. It spoke about the relationship of allowing Africans growth. So as I was invited, in fact, I was invited by 5 other political parties or others, and I like 5 because I just like that number. I don't know. So for me, I chose Republican Liberty Party because it has some great fundamentals that I care about. From the minute I had liberty, I thought, let me hear liberty. Freedom. Freedom ya nani? Ya Africa. I really want freedom ya Africa to be right on the grounds of international affairs. International affairs. Kila siku tuko nyuma. Tuko nyuma. I have lived abroad. By the way, I have lived abroad. Na nawaambia kitu kimoja wa Kenya. I see young people wanting to come abroad. And you know what my heart cries every day. My heart cries every day. Nikifikiria we have everything in Africa. Everything. Africans and black people tunatritiwa sijui aje because our countries in Africa, hata siongee tu Kenya sasa. Naongea Africa because we are many. We come from abroad, tunakuja tunatafuta kazi, wengine tunatukimbia kwa sababu ya wars, to create wars because of horrible political situation. Please, Kenyans, love Mama Kenya. Kenya is one of the best countries in the world. Let nobody tell you otherwise. Nimetembea. I have traveled. For those who are looking at me and listening to me here today, nimetembea. And I'm bringing you back the best. The best. Thank you, people of Ethiopia. Ethiopia, the other day, they decided to crown me. They said, Queen Nigist. Hata nimeitwa jina Queen Nigist. Wakaniambia tunataka you fight for our rights. Mimi ni Munge tu Juliet because I have love. So Nigist is very special. I thank them because you can see the humility and humbleness of such people who fight. They say, stand up, stand up. Woo. Stand up for your rights. You know, so they sing that song from the people of Ethiopia. That is the song that they help us to bring the Pan-Africanism that the people of Africa desire. Kenyans, love our country, fix our cities. Let's elect for the first time, historical moment, let's elect the right leadership of the country of Kenya. Hata kama sio mimi mtachagua, let you know that we have leaders in our country and we have leaders that are ready to serve. Let's create equal accessibility for every political aspirant that is standing. Let's not have the same politics that we've had. Na Mkenya kama unachukua hongo leo kwa sababu unataka kuvote ati ndio uangaliwe. I condemn that behavior right now. I'm not afraid to say that. I am saying to you the truth because you're part of the problem. You become part of the problem. Demokrasia yako ni kwenda katika pahali popote ambapo uko, just like in every place abroad ama wapi unachukua your vote is your voice. Your vote is your voice. Kwa hivyo leo hii Mkenya, kama unasimama, I thank you so much. I love you and I wish every contestant a great run.
Juliet, najua wewe huwezi maliza saa hizi. Wacha nikukatishe. You are blessed words. Lillian wanted to ask one question. I wanted one person to ask you one question, then we move.
Sorry?
Na Lillian, kwa nini yuko nyuma ya curtains? Lillian.
Niko nyuma?
This one, Lillian.
This is a Maasai blanket. Siko nyuma ya curtain. This is a Maasai blanket. I love to promote my blankets. You. I love it so much. It says equality is not excuses. That's what it says. I like it to carry on my budget. I win awards and I love them to just speak for themselves. I hope that answers the question.
No, it's not you I'm talking to. This lady called Lily. She had come to ask a question, but she's not removing her curtain. That is what I'm saying. Okay, let's end there. She might not be ready to ask the question. So that is where we are going to end, my dear. You have done it well. I don't even need to give you parting shots because you have told us everything that we needed to hear. And for my viewers who are disappointed, you know you are used to the crowd. And that session is there. Go to Bernard. The session for each and every person contributing is there. We're trying to slot in some assorted shows to bring in different skills and different debates. So if you're not used to one-on-one debates, kindly, I'm sorry. But personally, I've enjoyed. You see how the way I was relaxed sitting back and listening to Juliet. She's a resource and she's one of our own. We need to celebrate her. Just as we will celebrate you when your time comes. So thank you, Juliet. Let's have a good night. Watu waende kwa Bernard Show.
Thank you, Wekesa. Thank you to all my fans. Asanteni sana.